Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining in today. Today I'm going to show you how I do my eyebrow routine. So if you're curious, stick around. Okay, so I'm gonna get right into things. The first thing I do when I start my eyebrow routine is I take a Q-tip, and after I apply my foundation and setting powder and everything, I like to just kind of dust off the base of my eyebrows just so I can have a clean base to set the product into. So after I dust off my brows with the Q-tip, I am going to be taking my spoolie and I just kind of brush them out a little bit so it gives the hair an even base for the product to sit on. After I spoolie, I'm going to go in with my brow pencil, and the one I'm using today is the BH Cosmetics Shade and Define Duo Brow Pencil in the shade Medium Blonde. I've really enjoyed this. I tried this for the first time and I love the fact that it has two sides, first of all. So one is like a thin, like more precise edge, and the other's a little bit thicker and more of like a triangular shape, so you can go in on the edges and get the fill like pretty easily. So I'm gonna start going in with the skinnier side on the bottom of my lashes. So I usually start from the inside and work my way out. I don't start doing too thick of a line on the very inner corners, just because I don't like my eyebrows to look super like dark and blocky, especially now that my hair is a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna go in and just kind of create a thin line along the bottom. So once I draw that one on, I'm going to start on the top about halfway through and just kind of get the top corner down as well. And then kind of connect them down here. So now I have a full line on the bottom, half line on the top, and I'm going to use the thicker side to go in and kind of shade it in a little bit. And I'm stopping right where I drew the top line on the halfway mark. And as that gets a little bit darker on the outside, you can start seeing like the natural shape of my brow already starting to fill in a little bit nicer. I'm going to go on the bottom inner corner and just kind of flick it up where I left it a little less pigmented. So I could go back and do this and kind of create some like natural hair licking strokes. So now that I have the general shape of the brow drawn out, I'm going to go back in with my spoolie and just kind of brush them out, fluff them out, make sure that they don't stay looking this like dark. We start in the middle and just kind of flick it up to get this more natural, a little bit more of like a fade going on, because you don't want it all to look the same darkness on both sides. That's just not how a natural eyebrow looks. So on the end, I'm just gonna kind of brush the hair, not take too much of this pigment off, because we do want the outer tails to be a little darker. So another trick that I usually do when I'm shaping my eyebrows is I take my Q-tip that I originally started with and I just kind of fluff the inner corners out, so I can kind of like erase the line that I drew in the beginning, go up with it a little bit and just kind of blend it in. And that totally helps get a fade going. You don't want it all to look the same because the inner corners are supposed to be a little bit lighter than the outside. The inner corners are the most natural looking part of your eyebrows, so you want to go in with a little bit of eyebrow gel after you do that. I'm going in with my e.l.f. Clear Brow Mascara, and I'm just gonna kind of accentuate that shape a little bit more. So with the insides, I'm going up to get more of that natural eyebrow shape going, and then brush this out and up. So if you look a little closer, you can see how brushed out and more natural looking that looks than before I used the Q-tip on it to kind of fade out the inner corners. So I really like my eyebrows to look as natural as possible. And when you're doing brow gel, don't worry too much about wiping product off because the next step is going to help fix that. So what I'm gonna do next after brow gel is I'm going to take a little bit of concealer and kind of line the underneath and carve out around the tail of the eyebrow. So I'm going in with my concealer now, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me New York concealer. I'm trying to find the shade. Oh, 5 Ivory. And I just use a little small brush so I can get more of a precise line. And I'm going to start about halfway through my eyebrow and just kind of flick it underneath where you just colored in the brow and take it slowly to the start. And just kind of fluff that out with a brush to blend it in. Just a little extra on the top. Now, I don't always do this step when I'm doing my eyebrows, but if I have the time, I prefer to, just because if I'm going out to like a dinner with some friends or family, I like my makeup to look pretty sharp, you know? But if I don't end up having time to do this, it's not the end of the world. And then just repeat on the other side. So after I finish adding the concealer, what I like to do, and I usually will always do this step to make the fade of my eyebrows look a little bit better. So after I finish doing concealer, I'm going to go back in with my eyebrow pencil and kind of fix the color a little bit around the tail of the eyebrow, just because when I'm going in with my concealer, if I don't quite do like a perfect line, you know, I can always fix it after. So I usually just do the same amount, like about halfway around my eyebrow, and just kind of bring it down to meet the bottom. That's all I do, is I will line the top and bottom because I don't want to mess with the middle. That I already worked on getting that fade, and if you can see, the brow gel really helps keep these hairs standing up and looking natural. And we are looking pretty good. So after I do the second outline of the tail, I like to go back in because most of the gel has dried already, and I'm going to just go over the inside of my eyebrow one more time just to make sure that those hairs really stand up. And that is the finished look for my eyebrows. Now after this step, I usually go in with my shadow primer before I do my eyeshadow, and then that's pretty much it for this portion of my face. But this video is only about my eyebrows for today, so yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I do my eyebrows. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. But subscribe to see my upcoming videos. I'm going to be doing a lot more about how I do makeup reviews. If you have any requests for reviews on specific makeup items, like I said, leave a comment below and I will check them out. I hope you all have a good day. Thanks for hanging with Han, and I will see you guys all in the next video.